Hello, this is Sophomore Astrology. My name is Sarah, and for this video, I'm going to talk about Chiron and Scorpio, also Chiron in the 8th house. So before I dive into kind of explaining this placement, I want to talk about Chiron, kind of give like a summary of it, and really explain what it means in astrology. Now, Chiron is your soul imprint. It is your soul's signature of pain and suffering. Your Chiron is as unique and specific to you as your fingerprint. And I honestly feel like this is why human beings are not meant to like live forever, that we are mortal beings because of this reason, because this pain and suffering is so much. I don't think any life form is supposed to experience this for an endless amount of time. I would also say too, Chiron represents your unhealable wounds and your incurable trauma. This is something that doesn't take, it's hard to say that you could just go to a retreat for a week and everything will be okay. This is pain and suffering, and this is a journey of healing that might last your whole entire lifetime, or might have to take multiple lifetimes to heal. I would say that before that reason, that's why I feel like, just don't only look up in your natal chart and look at the Chiron, your Chiron placements in a particular house or sign. I would say to study all the signs, to study all the houses, because you will start to see that maybe you've been hurt in a way that maybe your natal chart might not explain. So I would say read books, look online, keep looking up videos, really try to understand Chiron in its totality, because your pain and suffering is not one-dimensional. I'm positive that your healing process is not going to be just a one-step type of thing. So as I dive further into the video, Chiron in Scorpio, Chiron in the 8th house, this is a lot of shame, guilt, and fear associated with power and control, and also particularly sex as well. You might have suffered and dealt with a lot of pain when it comes to your own safety and your experiences that you have with others related to resources, the ability to take care of yourself, and then sex as well. The quote I kind of want to open up with is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So here, this is what it is with this Chiron placement, is that Scorpio is fixed emotion, because it's fixed water. Kind of once someone kind of settles into a certain belief system and they feel a certain way about themselves, they might not want to change it because of that fixed nature. Definitely fixed signs or a fixed nature doesn't really want to rock the boat once something kind of in their mind has been made up. But I encourage you with this placement to really understand that if you have the belief system that you are powerless, or that you are powerless unless you take the power away from others, I would say to really kind of explore that and really try to break that mold, because you are not just given the pain and suffering associated with power, whether you have too little or too much. You were also given the tools to heal yourself. And the tool that you're given, that you ultimately find on this healing journey, is that you are a powerful being regardless of what is happening external to you. And it takes a lot to really embody and to really understand and accept that belief system, that you are powerful just as you are. You don't need to take from anyone else, and no one needs to take from you to balance the scales. You yourself are a very powerful being. And also too with this, it's kind of there's a sense of intimacy, fear of intimacy, shame, guilt, and fear associated with intimacy. And intimacy is not just I'm not just speaking about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about the intimacy that you might have between a friend, between a relative, a family member, anyone that you desire to be close to. But that's the thing with Scorpio, is Scorpio doesn't want to be vulnerable. And it's very hard for Scorpio to be vulnerable, because it's once you kind of had your power taken away, it's kind of hard to open yourself up and possibly give someone the opportunity to do it again to you. And this is very tough energy. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that you just read a book and then all of a sudden, you understand it, you heal it, and then you move on. Like, no, this is going to take a minute to kind of, more than a minute. You know what hopefully you know what I'm saying, but it's going to, like I said, it could take a whole lifetime to multiple lifetimes. So I would say to have patience with yourself, because this type of healing is very deep. And I feel like that's why, like, all the Chiron placements are difficult, but the way that Chiron in Scorpio or Chiron in the 8th house is difficult, because the pain and the healing might feel so deep that you have to really, like, go through all the layers to really understand the deep-rooted shame, guilt, and fear that has come from your belief system that you are powerless. So I feel like the way that someone heals from this is also to, I have a blog, check that out, because I kind of talk about, like, Scorpio related to also sexual healing, or at least to start, because I honestly feel like you yourself, your healing journey is yours. You will find the things that work for you, but sometimes, you just need a little bit of a, point to the right direction, or, just a little help, a little guidance or something like that to kind of really begin that. So I'll link that blog below if you're interested in reading that. But yeah, I honestly feel like also understanding how powerful you are as a healer, because you could really heal yourself. Like, you don't really need anybody else. You don't need anyone else's power. You don't need anyone else's resources. You don't need anyone else's sex. Like, you could have sexual healing without it having to do with anyone else. You could really obtain your own safety and obtain your own resources without seeking outside of yourself. You just have to dedicate that time and effort and really believe that you're worthy of that to really explore this, because this might have manifested as, like, someone, like I said, like, might have taken your power away from you, and used intimacy as a way to hurt you. Or vice versa, this might have manifested as you becoming the bully yourself because of this pain and suffering, to the point where, unfortunately, the people who are associated or deal with this energy, there's a sense of having a paranoia, especially when it comes to trying to be close to people. It's just super uncomfortable, But I mean, the spiritual gift with this is that, like, you are so deep because of this wound. You wouldn't be a deep person if you weren't able to be deeply hurt, and because of this depth, that is kind of what adds to the beauty of who you are as a person. And honestly, those people out there whose wounds and pains are so deep, maybe not everyone understands everyone's wounds, but you could be that powerful healer that is able to kind of dive deep in the darkness with others and really bring them up to the light like no one else can. And as you heal yourself, you heal others, and as those of the people that you heal yourself that much more, and I really implore you to kind of keep on the journey, because this is not easy, but I feel like you could be a very powerful, profound healer if you kind of, like, just step into that journey, So yeah, if you have this placement, if you've experienced this, please tell me your thoughts, any questions. If there's anything that you do for your self-care or you do for your healing, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this and you have a good rest of your day.